In this video, we are going to study about Kirchhoff's laws for electrical circuits. In current electricity chapter, we have studied about electric current, which is nothing but rate of flow of charge per unit time, as well as we have studied about Ohm's law, applications of Ohm's law, series and parallel combination of resistances in Ohm's law, application of Ohm's law to a complete circuit, by using which we are able to find the values of current flowing through the circuit or potential difference across the resistance. But if the circuit is more complicated, it means if the circuit is having more number of components of like resistance or source of EMF, more number of branches, more number of junctions, then it becomes very difficult to make use of Ohm's law to such circuits. Then in such a case, we are going to make use of Kirchhoff's laws. More complex circuits can be analyzed by using Kirchhoff's law. So Kirchhoff's formulated two rules for analyzing a complicated circuit. So in this video, we are going to discuss about these laws. So Kirchhoff gave us two laws. First law, which is also called as current law or junction law, and second law is voltage law. Now let us discuss Kirchhoff's first law, that is current law or junction law. Junction is any point in the circuit where the current can split. Now let us see the statement of this Kirchhoff's law. The algebraic sum of electric currents at any junction in an electrical network is always equal to 0. That is, we can say that summation of all the currents must be equal to 0, but where? At the junction. Now here you can see we have considered a junction in a circuit which is denoted by letter P, and as we have discussed, junction is any point in the circuit where current can split. You can see there are different branches which are carrying different current. Some of the current are approaching the junction, some of the currents are leaving the junction. Now in order to make use of this law, we need to understand the sign convention which is used in the first law of Kirchhoff's. The sign convention is very simple. Now in this figure, as you can see, the currents which are approaching the junction are treated as positive, whereas the current which are leaving the junction are treated as negative. Therefore you can see here the currents I1, I3 and I5. These are the currents which are approaching the junction. Therefore these current we are going to treat them as positive, whereas the currents I2 and I4 are leaving the junction. Therefore we can treat them as negative. Therefore, according to this law, that is algebraic sum of electric current at any junction in an electrical network is always equal to 0. That is summation I is equal to 0. And by using the sign convention, we can write this as plus I1 because it is approaching the junction, minus I2 because it is leaving the junction, plus I3 approaching the junction, minus I4 leaving the junction, plus I5 approaching the junction must be equal to 0. Therefore we can write I1 plus I3 plus I5 is equal to I2 plus I4. Thus from this equation we can see that the sum of currents, total current flowing towards the junction is equal to the sum of total current flowing away from the junctions. It means the amount of charge approaches towards the junction is equal to the amount of charge leaving the junctions. Since there is no accumulation, that is gain or loss of charge at the junction, we can say that this law is in accordance with the law of conservation of charge. Now we will discuss Kirchhoff's second law, which is applicable to the electrical network. Actually, electrical network, it is nothing but a combination of various electric circuit elements, or you can say components, and sources of EMFs which are connected in complicated manner. So let us have a look for the statement of this Kirchhoff's second law, which is also called as voltage law. You can see here, in a closed loop of electrical network, the algebraic sum of potential difference for all the components plus the algebraic sum of all the EMFs is equal to 0. That is summation IR, this is nothing but the potential difference, plus summation E, this is nothing but the EMFs, is equal to 0. In order to understand Kirchhoff's second law in more detail, we need to understand the sign conventions which are used in Kirchhoff's second law. As you can see, according to this statement, in Kirchhoff's second law, which is in the voltage law, in a closed loop, so here you can see we have considered a circuit which consists of different components like resistances R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, and source of EMF, say E1, E2 also. And we have also shown the direction of the flow of current, means I1 is the current which is given out by this source of EMF E1, and I2 is the current which is given out by the source of EMF E2. For the application of this second law, we need to understand two sign conventions. So the first sign convention says that if the direction of tracing the loop is same as that of the conventional current flown, then the potential difference across the resistance is considered as negative, otherwise it is positive. It means, imagine if you have considered a loop, say A, B, E, F, A, and if as we are tracing the loop in this direction A, B, E, F, A, and you can see the direction of flow of current is in the same direction of the tracing of the loop. So in this case, the current is treated as negative. It means when we are talking about potential difference across this resistance R2, then we can say it is nothing but minus I1 R2, which gives us the potential difference across this component. And here negative sign indicates that we are tracing the loop in the same direction of flow of current. And if the direction of flow of current and the direction of tracing of the loop, if it is in the opposite direction, then it is to be treated as positive. As you can see, in this loop, if you are tracing this loop, say B, C, D, E, B, then in this loop, as we are moving from B to C, the direction of flow of current is in the upward direction, whereas we are treating this or tracing this loop in the downward direction. So the potential difference across this component is nothing but I2 into R4, and its sign should be positive. Now, second sign convention states that EMF is positive if we traverse from negative terminal to the positive terminal inside the cell, and EMF is negative if we traverse from positive terminal to the negative terminal. It means if you are tracing the loop A, B, E, F, A, and in this branch when we are moving from F to A, it means we are moving from negative terminal of the source of EMF to the positive terminal, then this EMF is to be treated as positive. But if we are tracing this loop in opposite direction like A, F, E, B, A, then in this branch when we are moving from A to F, it means we are moving from positive terminal of the EMF to the negative terminal of the EMF. So this EMF we are going to treat it as negative. Therefore, by applying these two sign conventions of Kirchhoff's second law to the loop A, B, C, D, E, F, A, we can write for the loop A, B, C, D, E, F, A, when we are moving from A to B, you can see the direction of flow of current and direction of tracing of the loop is same. Therefore, the potential difference across this component, that is resistance R2, is negative. So we can write this is nothing but minus I1 R2. From B to C, the direction of flow of current is in the upward direction, and we are tracing the loop in downward direction, that is from B to C. So this potential difference can be treated as positive. Therefore, we can write this is nothing but plus I2 R4. 4. Now when we are moving from C to D, it means we are moving from positive terminal of the source of EMF to the negative terminal of the source of EMF E2. So we can write this as minus E2. Then in between we have this resistance I5 through which the current I2 is flowing, and we are moving from C to D. It means opposite to the direction of flow of current. So we can write it as plus I2 into R5. From D to E we are not having any of the component. From E to F again no component. Then when we are moving from F to A, again we have a component R1. Now here you can see the direction of flow of current I1 is in the same direction as the direction of tracing of the loop. So we can add this is nothing but minus I1 R1. And now here we are moving from negative terminal of the source of EMF to the positive terminal of the source of EMF. So this EMF E1 we can treat it as positive, so plus E1, and we have reached to the loop A, means loop is complete. So summation IR plus summation E is equal to 0. So this equation is equal to 0. Therefore, by rearranging this term, we are going to get minus I1 R2 minus I1 R1 plus I2 R4 plus I2 R5 plus E1 minus E2 is equal to 0. Therefore, we can write minus I1 into bracket R1 plus R2 plus I2 into bracket R4 plus R5 plus E1 minus E2 is equal to 0. So, from the form of this equation you can clearly see that in this closed loop of electrical network, the algebraic sum of potential difference of all the components plus the algebraic sum of EMFs, that is E1 and E2, is equal to 0. This is how we can apply Kirchhoff's second law to a closed loop. Here we can see that by definition of potential difference, summation IR represents the total energy spent in sending a unit charge around the circuit, and summation E represents the total energy supplied by the source of EMF in the circuit for sending a unit charge. Thus we can say that Kirchhoff's second law is in accordance with the law of conservation of energy.